Here we are in part 2 of our Freeform Seating video series, and we're going to talk about our mounting options and our accessories for Freeform Seating. So we have a few types of mounting options. With the back kits, you have a choice of the center mount hardware or independent mounts. So with the center mount hardware, you have 4 points of attachment to the shell, and with these 2 screws, when you loosen them off, it gives you height adjustment, angle adjustment, and the ability to offset the shell within the wheelchair. The center mount also has a telescoping function here, so you can mount the smaller size freeform shell onto wider chairs and vice versa by changing the width of the mounting bar. The independent mount also has a telescoping function, so you can adjust the position of the shell on the chair, and it has a cutout here so you can change the orientation of the mounting plate. All the hardware is aluminum except for this mounting plate here, which is steel. The reason this is steel is so that you can bend it to match the contour of the shell. Both sets of hardware are quick release to allow you to take the freeform backrest on and off the chair. This is the quick release lever here, and you can adjust the tension of this lever with the nut on the bottom. The receivers, the wheelchair clamps, will fit any type of wheelchair, round, square, oval tubing, and they are serrated on the inside so that they give a very tight grip on the wheelchair cane. The other type of mounting hardware that we have is what we call our surface mount. So this is typically a mount that's used for mobility devices that have a seat pan, or for strollers that have a flat surface that you're going to mount the seat to. And it bolts to your flat surface, and then the post has the same bracket as the independent mount, steel bracket, and you could orientate the system to mount on the bottom. And we have 2 different lengths of post for the surface mount. We also have what we call our flat plate mount adapter, and this allows you to mount to a wheelchair that has a flat back pan, so no back canes. And it gives you a receiver for the mount that you can attach to a flat surface with holes on the back there. We have a piece of hardware as well called the vertical adapter, and the vertical adapter is used typically when you're mounting a one-piece full body system to a tubular wheelchair. So you're going to mount your wheelchair clamp on the horizontal tube, plug in your vertical adapter, and that gives you a vertical receiver on a horizontal tube. This is the universal headrest mounting plate, and it attaches to the freeform shell at 3 points directly to the shell. And how it attaches is just with extended screws. The screws are the same diameter, just longer. So you would take out the existing screw in the clamp and put in the longer one, and then bolt the plate directly to the shell. It has pre-drilled holes for all the major manufacturers of headrests, head positioning devices. With the extended screws, you can also use them to mount buckles and clips for positioning devices directly to the shell. So for instance, if you wanted to have a shoulder harness, you could mount the buckles to the exterior of the shell with your extended screws so that you have receivers for the straps. Same thing with thoracic straps, pelvic belts, all sorts of positioning devices. With the center mount, you have 4 points of attachment in the center of the back, which does limit the amount of contouring that you can do in that section. So for example, if you had a client with a significant lordosis, you're going to want to free up the center of the backrest to push it in. So to do that, you would use 2 independent mounts and mount them closer to the sides of the backrest to free up the middle for contouring. So the independent mounts give you more options for contouring the shell, whereas the center mount is easier to adjust the position of the shell within the chair. We also have aluminum stays, and the aluminum stays are used in instances where you want to increase the rigidity or the strength of the freeform shell. Freeform doesn't have a weight limit, and the reason it doesn't have a weight limit is because you can add as many reinforcement aluminum stays and as many mounting points as you need to make the system stable. In the next video in the series, we're going to go over the different covering options and techniques for padding freeform seating.